Hey everybody out there in beautiful YouTube land, it's Joel Elson with Pinnacle Mountain Gunsmithing, and today I have for you one of the finest .22 rifles ever made in America, and probably one of the finest ever made. A Winchester Model 52. Oh yeah, have been many national records. Yes, with this long barrel. It is a .22, but it is by far one of the most accurate, one of the nicest, and probably also one of the most overcomplicated .22s I have ever had the privilege of working with. Let's go ahead and get down the rabbit hole, shall we? Here we are. This is possibly one of the nicest .22s I have ever seen, and probably one of the most overcomplicated. As you can see, we have big sling swivels, our long 28-inch barrel, and we have what looks to be hand-cut checkering, with 3 diamonds underneath, this big kind of double diamond pattern on both sides, all hand-cut. Very nice stock, lots of tiger stripes, lots of burl, another patch of checkering down here at the wrist, at our semi-pistol grip stock. And this thing is all original. This is about as good as it gets. The magazine first basic manual of arms. Let's make sure we're unloaded. That rifle has to be on fire, but draw back the bolt. And we see there's nothing in the magazine, nothing in the chamber. Our magazine release is this button here on the side, which it can be a little awkward to get that out, but 5-round magazine. Basic, but for target shooting, that's really all you need, if you even need that. Now, when the magazine is in, you can see we have a very nice little loading platform. You can just kind of drop rounds in there and go. Now, this bolt action is probably one of the smoothest .22 bolt actions I have ever seen. Comparing it to our Savage Mark II that I like to use for target shooting, this is far smoother. Much shorter bolt through. And seriously, that's the bolt through. That's how far it goes. Now, we do have a very nice, smooth through. We can't put the safety on unless the bolt is in, but once we're there, it's indicated with safe. Make sure you can see and read that. Oh yeah. Made in USA, Winchester Repeating Arms Company, New Haven, Connecticut, patented Winchester trademark. Now, there have been several different variations of this particular rifle. This one appears to be from the B series. If you're a Model 52 collector, you'll know what that is. For the rest of you, it's kind of the 3rd series of these put out. There are a lot of variations in terms of the bolt and the bolt geometry, and specifically relating to the cocking piece and things you can or cannot do with the bolt. But while the rifle is on safe, of course, the trigger cannot be pulled, and the bolt does not open. Take it off safe. You can open and close. Now, to take this apart, we can take out the bolt, or actually for general maintenance, this particular one, you can just loosen that and pull the trigger all the way, and the bolt slides right out. Notice there is a little piece on the back here. That is what keeps the bolt aligned when it's still in the action but open. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to... Hang on, let me put this down. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to decock it and cock it. Just like that. But when you're ready to put it back in the rifle, just make sure that piece and this flat area are aligned. And it should be golden. Alright, in any case, I bet you can guess this particular rifle has a very nice trigger, and you'd be correct. I measure it at around 1.5 pounds. And for a target rifle, that's pretty darn good. There are lighter triggers out there, but that is about as light as I would want to have it. Just knowing myself and safety concerns, when you enter certain marksmanship competitions, there is sometimes a limit of how light of a trigger you can put on your rifle, but this is a really good one. There is a slight trigger adjustment right down here in that little hole. I'll show you that a little better when we have the rifle out of the stock. Now, in order to get the rifle out of the stock, you'll notice we have an extra stud up here. I think that was originally for a sling swivel stud that is not in use. I'll show you more when we get it out of there. But we have one bolt here and one bolt back over up here, and we can go ahead and turn those and start getting her out so I can show you the insides of this beauty. I know, watching me turn a screw, that's real riveting entertainment, but here we go. It would honestly take longer for me to turn the camera off than back on. Right, there we go. Try not to slide out of the screw slot. All right, here we are. Don't think I'm quite all the way out on this one. There we go. Hang on, stand by. Okay, we're back, and we are out of the stock. Please note that when you do pull this out of the stock, the magazine release button, it comes out from the inside and has kind of a little rivet head on the back that holds it in. I'll show you a bit more about how to put that back in with a shim, such as this steel ruler right here. That's a very useful tool we'll use later. But yeah, here we have, you can see our magazine well here. That is, wow, that's way overbuilt. Compare that to the Savage Mark II that we did a video on earlier, and wow, this is solid, totally machined steel. Yeah, this is insane. This was, I believe this was made when rifles were built to a purpose, not to a cost, and ultimately people understood that then. But in any case, then we come to this trigger mechanism, and my goodness, we got a lot going on over here. This is our trigger adjustment, trigger weight adjustment here. That really just controls the spring force on the return of the trigger. Yeah, that's what you're pulling against. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's what you're pulling against. And you can see the sear lowering itself. Now when we have a bolt in there, our safety just prevents the sear from falling, and therefore we get a shot to go off when it's allowed to go down. But yeah, this is an insane level of complexity for just what amounts to a Target 22, but you know, if you want world records, this is how you do it. Zoom back out here. Show you the inside of the stock. And this particular stock is not bedded at all. There's really nothing going on. The bottom trigger guard is actually two pieces, which is kind of insane. And grip cap, it's just a piece of plastic, but it has Winchester Repeating Arms Company there. And let's see, our butt plate is also steel, which, you know, for something made in the 50s and 60s, that's pretty standard. There's that stud I was talking about. This may have been at one time attached to the rifle, and you could probably use it as a sling point, but obviously the owner of this rifle has decided to attach sling points up here, which, I don't know, that makes sense. Oh, and by the way, this particular rifle also usually wears a long scope. This is a Weaver Model K12F, and 1-inch tube. Yeah, these kind of spindly rings, but you know, it gets the job done. It is not adjustable for magnification, but it is adjustable for parallax, which honestly is a better choice for a 22. Really about 3 or 4x is about all I can stand for target shooting, and this provides exactly what you need, especially for 22s. Okay, let's go about getting this put back together. Stand by and I'll get it into position where I can show you how to get the magazine release in on top of this little lever, and we'll see how that goes. Stand by. Okay, here's the only tricky part in getting this rifle reassembled, is getting the magazine release in past the button here. Yeah, that's the button. I just have that set in there, so I'm going to use gravity to help me out. And I have a large punch that I'm going to use to push that lever in, and boom, hey, we're down. All right, we'll put the screws back in, and I'll close this out with some more thoughts. Stand by. Hey, here we are. We have the rifle back together, and we are golden. Just making sure the magazine still works, and sure enough, it still retains it. But yeah, if you ever see one of these in a pawn shop or in back of a gun store somewhere, and you have a really good price on it, I suggest you get one. These are incredible shooters, so long as they've been well maintained and nothing's actually wrong with them. This particular rifle got brought in for just a minor issue. The customer was reporting some light strikes. We cleaned it up a little bit, but we also noticed another problem. As you can see, the striker is cocked. When we put the safety on and then subsequently pull the trigger and then took the safety off, the rifle would sometimes fire, which is of course a safety issue. But never fear, this particular one has had that issue corrected. But if she's ready to go back out the door, in any case, this is Joel Ellison with Pinnacle Mountain Gunsmithing. We're a full-service gunsmithing shop in Pickens, South Carolina, and we very much value your support. We've gotten a lot of followers over the last couple of years, and it's been fabulous going on this journey with you. Look forward to more videos coming out soon, and we'll see you around. Have a good one. Bye.